about how she has simplified their approach from top to bottom, not giving a ton of information and allowing them to just stay athletic in the box.
Sarah Beth Allen leading things off for Georgia Tech, moved into that leadoff role during the season because she was being pitched around too much, drew a heck of a lot of walks. Top 5 in the nation in walks drawn this year. And Georgia Tech pulling off that upset yesterday against Virginia Tech. Sarah Beth went 0 for 2, but was walked a couple of times. Two-one pitch hit solidly, but that's Issa Torres. We already talked about Beecham, but a true freshman left side of the infield for Florida State. They've been spot on this year.
Well, and Issa Torres, another player over at short that has had to pick up where a departing senior's absence has been felt. Josie Muffley was the shortstop previously. Issa Torres has stepped in to be able to fill those shoes, and she's actually swinging a better stick than Muffley, so she's adding to the offense.
Yeah, that really is saying something. And here's Beecham, who is a really good third baseman, who gets the foul ball off the bat of Mallory Black, who, like Sarah Beth Allen before her, is having a career year in average home runs and RBI, and not just by a little. I mean, they are crushing their previous highs this season. First 3 years on campus, Mallory Black hit a grand total of 10 home runs. She has 19 this season alone. Beecham can't get to it. Black with a one-out single.
And Black has been able to just be so consistent in the lineup for Georgia Tech. She leads the team in average, leads the team in power, and a drop ball she doesn't try to elevate, just goes right downstairs and punches it through that 5-6 hole, not trying to be too fancy, but get the Yellow Jackets started.
So they have their first base runner, setting up Tiffany Dominique, who is the second baseman for this team. First pitch, and it's not handled by Torres. Everybody's safe. So a rare hiccup over there at short for Torres.
And that happens because Torres took her eye off of the play before she secured the ball in the glove. She knew that she was going to have a chance to go to second base and turn the double play, but by taking her eye off of the ball before securing it, she bobbles and not enough time to get an out anywhere.
That is an error on Issa Torres. Two base runners now with just one away for Madison Dobbins. So 3 grand slams this season alone for Georgia Tech. Fielded and then flipped over by Gooden to get Dobbins, with Black now at third and Dominique at second.
And you saw that Dobbins wanted, or Gooden wanted to perhaps go and get the go-ahead runner, but not enough time to make that play. Gets an easy out. But now 2 runners in scoring position for Georgia Tech here in the first.
Yeah, electing to get the shore out at first. And here's Jaden Gailey, who hit a home run yesterday. One of 3 home runs hit by Georgia Tech. Hit hers in the 4th inning, as they took out the Hokies, who came in as the number 3 seed. 2-1 pitch to Gailey. And that hit her to load the bases.
And Pam, that's just a drop ball on the outside part of the plate that gets away from the freshman in the circle. They know that they want to fill the zone up underneath the hands of Gailey, but that one too far inside, and you don't have to make a move to get out of the way, so she wears it and loads them up.
And already another freshman, Ashton Danley, is up and warming in the Florida State bullpen. It has been certainly a pitching staff by committee this year for Coach Alameda, and a chance now with the bases loaded and 2 away for Reese Hunter, the catcher, who had a double yesterday in the win over the Hokies. Well, we got Mallory Black over at third. She's singled. Dominique at second, reached on an error, and you just saw Gailey get hit by a pitch to load him up. That took several bounces, got away from Edenfield. Georgia Tech strikes first. And then the overambitious attempt by Dominique to score from second. She is out, but the wild pitch brings in a run.
This one just falls out of the hand so early. Edenfield does everything she can to get there, and then the dish to the plate to prevent the first run from coming around, runs into the runner, but Edenfield has the presence of mind to pick it up and go right for the tag.
Something that we would expect from Coach Alameda, and we certainly echo those sentiments, because those tornadoes, man, nasty stuff, and we certainly hope everybody's all right.
Yeah, you and I were just down in Tallahassee calling their game against Florida. It's a beautiful campus and a beautiful area, but the morning left quite a bit of destruction all around Tallahassee.
Kaylee Mudge leading things off for Tallahassee, or for the Tallahassee's own Florida State team. Josie Muffley, who we mentioned her, played on this team, was so great at shortstop. This is a video that she posted on Instagram, and you see the damage to that house that we assume is hers, but just terrible stuff going on in Tallahassee as Mudge sends it into right field, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Mudge holds up at second with the leadoff double.
When you say doubles, I immediately think of Florida State. They lead the ACC with the double. Mudge now with 12 doubles on the year, but sitting at the top of the lineup, she's been so efficient. She's a patient, powerful hitter at the top, and now she puts herself in scoring position with nobody out.
What a career she has had, first team all-conference this year. And here is the freshman of the year, Chesney Beecham. 8 home runs in her last 15 games. You take a look at this potent lineup for the Seminoles, hitting .341 on the season. And look at Beecham. Leads all freshmen in the entire country with that batting average. And Jenny, all right, we got first base open. They're being careful with her, yes?
I would pitch around her. Those pitches are closer than anything I would give Beecham. She has shown that she has power to all zones, to all fields. And with a runner on base, the way that Beecham's been swinging it, one swing could give Florida State the lead.
Sophia Voiles getting the start again for Georgia Tech. Saw her yesterday in the quarterfinal win over Virginia Tech as she goes to 3-0 on Beecham. Kaylee Harding is on deck. Harding can do some damage. She hit a home run yesterday. Huge. Beecham swinging on 3-0, pops out weakly to Gailey at first.
You gotta love the way that Voiles attacked and came back at Beecham. As a freshman, sometimes he pressed, but Voiles took advantage of that. Throws in the mid-60s with side-to-side movement with her curve and her screwball. Runs the ball up through the zone with added velocity, and also has been touched up on that pitch too. Changes speeds effectively with her changeup, so watch for that to disrupt the timing of the hitters.
Kaylee Harding had one of 2 Florida State home runs yesterday, yes, in the victory. Florida State really had to scuffle to beat Notre Dame.
And there's that change of speed. You're going to see it all game long. Royals trust that pitch. We'll use it in any count. And this one's not even hittable. Down in the zone. Falls off the table. Reese Hunter good back there behind the dish.
Harding able to hold up on that as the count goes to 1-2. Scott Mayer behind the plate today, calling balls and strikes. Mudge, leadoff double, still over there at second. Mudge running all the way. A little bit of a hesitation over there by Black at third, and Harding is safe.
Harding runs well, and that play is made possible because of the hesitation by the third baseman, Mallory Black. She caught the eye, Kaylee Mudge caught the eye of Mallory Black on that. She thought about going to third, but there was no coverage over there. I think she's out as we go to review. I think the throw beats her over there at first base.
It drives me crazy. They're like they want style points. They don't stretch anymore. They don't want to look uncool, but that stretch made all the difference.
Yeah, without that stretch, Harding's able to beat that out. So kudos to Gailey on the nice reach across to get the out.
So here's the other freshman, Issa Torres. A freshman, ACC. Batting cleanup for Coach Alameda. And boy, just the poise, right? You have Torres coming in for Muffley. You got Beecham over there on the left side, so they're dealing with defense. They're dealing with all these things, and look, she's hitting 359 and playing really well. Did have an error in the first inning here. Sends it into left field. Dobbins catches it to end the inning.
Crazy to think that these are the 2 most touted teams in the conference when it comes to titles, and Georgia Tech has not been there in quite some time. That shows you the dominance of Florida State over the past decade.
They've won 8 of the last 9 ACC tournaments. Has Florida State. As Reese Hunter starts things off. Hunter was at the plate when all, as you would say, heck broke loose to end the first inning. And with the wild pitch, 1 run came in to score, and then another one tagged out, attempting to score to end the inning when Hunter was up.
But it shows you how important Enfield is back there behind the plate for Florida State, because it was a heads-up play that she was able to go get the ball that ricocheted off of the runner that scored, picked it up, and was able to tag the next runner trying to advance to get them out of the inning.
Helps that she's 6'1", too. I mean, she's ridiculously athletic, but when you, that length.
She's got quite the reach, for sure.
She's got some stuff going on. And you see that right index finger taped up, the finger that she broke in the Louisville series, had surgery on it. And that tag was made with that bare hand.
I thought it was made with the glove. Was the ball not in the glove? That's pretty crazy. No fear, right? She had surgery on that finger right after it happened in Louisville.
Whatever it takes for Edenfield. She's got 1 more year. Redshirt junior will be back next year. came back to hit when they played North Carolina late in the regular season. And of course, she got hit in her first at bat and a home run later in the series.
Crazy the way that she's been able to just come back so quickly.
Hunter sends it into left field. Mudge, really good outfielder, first out of the second.
Yeah, Hunter got a bunch of that one. Not enough to get beyond the glove of the crazy, amazing outfielder, Kaylee Mudge, out there and left. She caught my attention as a freshman in the Women's College World Series, and I've had my eye on her because defensively she's made so many good plays out there, and she's become a fabulous leadoff hitter for Florida State.
Freshman year 2021. She had not just playing good in the outfield, she had 14 hits, which at that time was a World Series record. Jen Soleo. This is a name that's been around this program for quite a while, and talk about a great senior year. Her numbers are through the roof this season. Career high in average. Last year she hit 197, Jen. Much better this year.
Yeah, she's up, you know, just a tad. Crazy, up 250 points. And putting up some big home run numbers for him, too. It comes down to just being able to be committed to the short game. That's what's given her the jump in average. But by committing to the short game, she also has become more effective at swinging away and has found that power boost.
Playable for Flaherty. 2 away.
And that seems to be the way that Georgia Tech likes to score runs this year. Tons of home runs. 89 on the season, 4th in program history, and 4th in the country right now with the long ball.
Paige Vukadinovich playing right field for Georgia Tech. Most ACC wins since 2018. They went 12-12 in league play. Sixth seed, the highest since 2013, the year after they won their last championship.
Well, and Vukadinovich was the player that actually got relieved to allow Grace Connolly to have the pinch hit at bat that gave them the 3-run blast. Coach Eileen Morales has been under the weather, but feeling better. Hopefully she'll be able to talk to us in her in-game interview.
And Coach Morales was on the championship team back in '05. And again, only Florida State has more titles. They have 14 more. But that's a lot. But nobody else is there. Nobody else has 5 other than FSU. Vukadinovich into short right field. Perfectly placed in front of Kerr, the 2-out single.
Way off the end of the bat, but strong enough to punch it to the outfield. Down in the zone, goes down to get it, adjusts her body angle to create the right one to punch it to the grass.
Lonnie Alameda is making a pitching change right now. So Mimi Gooden goes out.
Can be unpredictable, not a trusted pitch in every situation.
Danley went 3 innings yesterday through 29 pitches in the win against Notre Dame as she relieved Allison Royalty. Ella Edgman, the number 9 hitter, the first batter that she will face.
Danley's not a big strikeout pitcher. She only had 1 in her appearance yesterday. And on the season, 89 strikeouts in 120 innings. When you look at the way the pitchers and the circle has gone for Florida State this year, over 50% of the innings thrown this season have been by freshman pitchers.
Two-one on the way to Edgman. There's Kat Sandercock. That's called a strike. Kat Sandercock was their ace last year, and she has graduated. They were counting on McKenna Reed this year, who was 13-0 with a sub-1 ERA, but she has not pitched since the third week in April, and we do not anticipate seeing her, certainly in this tournament. So their ERA, when you think of Florida State, you think best in the country, right, or among the best. There's McKenna. Not so this year. 9th in the ACC in earned run average this season.
Yeah, from .97 last year to 3.37 this year. She has been the one that they were thinking they were going to be able to rely on. Haven't pitched in quite a while.
Yeah, really a shame, but Monty Alameda, yeah, they went through a really rough patch early on in the season. What did they give up? 24 runs in one game? It was just, they were just getting smushed all over the place. And
it was Clearwater where they got touched up big, lost 10-14 to UCLA, and then 10-20 against Georgia.
Yeah, so that's 34 runs in 2 games. Oh, gets underneath Torres. So Edgman is on.
Well, and Georgia Tech not getting a ton of barrel on these balls. They're getting jammed up, but finding their way to the grass. That's the name of the game, just making sure that you put the ball in play. You don't always need the long ball to score runs.
2 on, 2 out. We go to the top of the order, and Sarah Beth Allen grounded out her first time up, but now facing Danley for the first time. Sun now beating in brightly. Some decent weather here. It's not horribly hot, and most importantly, won't say it, but it's sunny.
The R word.
You like the S word, sunny.
Well, sun has 3 letters. I'm fine with that. It's the 4-letter word that starts with an R that we want to make sure we stay away from. It seems like there's another conference tournament going on around the country that is being impacted a ton by the water from the sky.
1-1 to Allen. Got under it. Kennedy Harp, second straight game. She starts in center, ends the inning. Seed, regular season champ, but my goodness, what a game they played. Just surviving Clemson, winning 4-3 in 10 innings earlier today after beating BC in 10 innings yesterday.
Well, and it was Florida State that had the #1 seed kind of locked in, but then went into Syracuse in their last conference series and dropped 2, which gave Duke the opportunity to claim that first seed in the tournament.
First time that Duke has won a regular season championship. A first look at Edenfield at the plate. You see that index finger sticking out. They've cut out that batting glove to give it room. Proving you don't need all your fingers to hit.
Well, and you and I talked about this when it first happened, when she was coming back and taking batting practice. You don't want a crazy tight grip with your fingers around the bat. So what it's done is probably loosened up her grip and given her a little bit more whip through her swing.
Certainly a very confident swing.
Yeah, you don't need to throw Edenfield a good pitch because
No.
And she doesn't need more whip. I mean, she's shown that she's got a ton of power, 51 career home runs, and her first 2 seasons on campus for the Seminoles, 50+ RBI.
An excellent catcher as well.
When you talk about that RBI production in her freshman and sophomore years, she's one of only 3 Seminoles with 2 50 RBI seasons in their first 2. She had 50 in her freshman year, 56 in her sophomore season. And Area 51 is something that's typically reserved for Tallahassee, but it seems as though Area 51's moved here to Durham.
Yes, it does travel. And they're hoping that Edenfield might find that area. Instead, she draws a walk to start things off in the second inning against Boyles. And leadoff double by Mudge in the first inning, and now the leadoff walk by Edenfield sets up Flaherty.
When you saw the graphic, Area 51, because she's number 51, and then she launches all those home runs over to the left field side in Tallahassee. So they're going to hold that sign up and try to get. It's a little late. She's on first. I don't know that she's going to be able to do you know, the big bopper kind of thing on first base.
Flaherty hits the first pitch. The tough play, but flipped over from the glove side by Dominique to retire Flaherty as Edenfield goes down to second.
And that's a great play by Dominique to be able to stay composed enough and for Enfield to not make contact with her on her advancement. As a second baseman, your job is to make contact with that runner. And both of them looked to try to avoid it. Dominique, though, able to just go glove to glove with that toss to first base and get the out.
Gailey able to hold on to it. Kerr comes up for the first time this afternoon. 0 for 3 against Notre Dame yesterday. Also on the right side, another chance for Dominique. This time the flip with the right hand. Edenfield now is on third with 2 away.
Well, right now the lefties are rolling over the ball. Second base is being really active. Dominique making some really good plays.
Maya Ross with a chance to tie this game up. Ross taking advantage of extended playing time this year. First couple of years, just 18 starts. Was a terrific pinch runner, got a lot of speed, but now in the lineup pretty much every day, hitting well over 300.
And when you talk to Coach Lonnie Alameda about Amaya Ross, she said, you know, she's one of those unique players that has stayed loyal to the program after not getting a ton of playing time in her first couple of years, and now able to put up big time numbers, third in the country in triples. Last season, Amaya Ross had only 36 at-bats on the season. This year, this is her 132nd at-bat. She's got regular playing time, and with that consistent playing time has been able to push up her average and her power numbers. Just 1 home run last year, 8 on the season now.
Count even up at 2-2 with Edenfield over at third. Gets good contact on it, but Edgman is right there to squeeze it and end the inning.
Last year was the first Pac-12 championship, and this year is the last.
That's a first pitch. Swing from Mallory Black that goes all the way to the wall. Leads off the third with a double, her second hit of the game.
Not only did that one drop in for a double, it's her 18th of the season, and I like that 12-6 spin on the drop on the outside, but it finds too much of the plate. Seasoned hitter like Mallory Black able to let it travel, drive it the other way, so the senior puts herself in scoring position.
For Tiffany Dominique, who was busy over at second defensively in the last half inning. First year at Georgia Tech, she is a transfer from South Carolina upstate. And she said she got a really close connection. Head coach Eileen Morales said they talked after she got into the portal, and everything just kind of clicked, and she has really fit in well.
And she had some other opportunities to go different places, she said, but it just felt right, and both sides felt it was going to be advantageous to come on campus and become a Yellow Jacket. And she has started every game since the second week of the season. Had
a solo home run in the win against Virginia Tech last night. They hit 3 of them. Let's take a look at what she did with the stick last night.
I mean, she swings it so well. Her 12th home run of the season, and it was an Emma Lemley velo-filled pitch that she connected with, drove it over the left field wall. A big upset over Virginia Tech.
89 home runs as a team for Georgia Tech. That was nasty from Danley to set her down.
And that change of speed I wish I could impress upon the youth watching this game right now how important it is to have a change of speed. So many times you see young pitchers thinking that they need to have a curveball, a screwball, a rise ball, a drop ball, a fastball. Guess what? Give me a fastball and give me a changeup and you'll be effective.
Dobbins hit it over to Torres, who was able to look flat back. Two-way now. Jaden Gailey hit a home run yesterday. She comes up for the second time in this game. Hit by a pitch from departed starter Mimi Gooden.
Well, and with the departure of McKenna Reed from the circle for Florida State, we are hoping that we see her down the stretch in the circle, but Ashton Danley has picked up a ton of innings for Florida State.
Beecham is good. That's a nice play too, right by Ross to go across and get it in for the final.
Florida State, number 23, Kennedy Hart.
And there'll be even more players with unfamiliar names playing next year as you see some of those big names departing the program and needing to be replaced again next year.
Kennedy on the ACC all-freshman team. Florida State playing in their 16th straight ACC semifinal, trying to take home their third straight title.
The winner of this one will go against Duke, who was able to pull off that extra inning win for the second time in the championship tournament.
Back-to-back 10-inning games for the Blue Devils. 2-1.
On outside of Florida State, Duke is the most recent team to win the ACC championship, but set that record with back-to-back extra inning wins. The first time first seed has ever had to play in those extra inning games.
And they did them in back-to-back games.
I don't know that that's a record anybody else is going to want to beat.
No. Hart pops it up, short right field for Vukadinovic. Turns it over to the top of the order, and Kaylee Mudge, who doubled to start things off back in the first inning, but was stranded.
I hate to miss those opportunities with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Mudge set up the Seminoles in a great way to start the game off, but just could not find a way to push her around.
And Kaylee Mudge, one of those seniors that you were referencing, who's been so valuable to Coach Alameda. First pitch, hit to Dominique, who's been busy over there at second.
Well, and with how many left-handed hitters you have in the lineup for Florida State and a pitcher not throwing a ton of velocity, you are going to see a lot of pull side hits, and so Dominique's going to need to be consistently ready, knowing that her pitchers are not dominant strikeout pitchers. Defense has to show up behind them.
This is when you want to face Beecham with 2 out and nobody on. She's been tearing up pitchers since the opening series. In her first 5 games of the year, she went 8 for 15 and hit a home run, and has cooled off just slightly since. Only 5'3" tall. Good things come in small packages, Jenny.
Yeah, they do. And Scott Mayer has a very low zone in this game. as long as it stays consistent, I'm fine with it because that information can be communicated. It's when a zone changes back there behind the plate that I have a really hard time with the calls.
0-2 to Beecham. Just gets into the Georgia Tech dugout. Coach Morales, there's Devin Boland, right side of your screen, who was the acting head coach at NC State last year after they blew out their staff during the season. Very trying for them.
Yeah, in March of all times to lose their head coach. So not only did they have Devin Boland, who was the director of operations, take over the head coach responsibilities, but they had a recent player step in to be the assistant coach. A recent graduate, excuse me. So a first-year coach and a director of ops leading NC State before Lindsay Leftwich came in to take over that program this season.
So a whole new staff, as we mentioned. Hunter Bunch, the hitting coach, Aaron Dixon, the pitching coach, Devin Boland, the ops. There's Aaron over there on the right, and boy, the numbers have really just a huge difference, particularly offensively. I'm sorry, Beecham foul.
I apologize, Pam. Sorry, that got all jumbled up. But with the jump in numbers, I mean, their home runs have almost doubled. Their batting average is up about 50 points. It's the stolen base numbers that have fallen off. And when we asked Coach Morales about it, she said, well, I don't want to run ourselves out of an inning, especially with the rule change and how that can be reviewed now.
Yep, if you leave early. And when you have hitters with numbers like that, you don't want to run yourself out of innings anyway, right? If you have someone who can swing, give them a chance.
Yeah, for Georgia Tech, they have 11 players with a home run. They've had a ton of run production for a circle that has had a very elevated ERA this season, coming in with a 4.93 ERA.
Well, Beecham works a 2-out walk. Second one surrendered by Boyles. And it brings up Harding.
Up next, number 8, Kaylee Harding.
Harding's numbers are up from last year. That's fielded on the first pitch by Voiles, tosses over. Alum of Georgia Tech and the head coach. I want to go back to last night. That was such an impressive victory against Virginia Tech. I mean, great job, and how do you carry that forward today?
I mean, I think it's elimination season, right? So, you know, you got to enjoy that for a couple hours and then regroup and on to this one, right? Just trying to stack innings.
No doubt. And with Sophia Voiles, we saw her start yesterday. We saw her with the start today. What goes into giving her the ball 2 days in a row?
We're going to go with our best arms. We're going to go with what we think the matchups are, and you know, hopefully it falls our way.
All right, Coach, again, thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all being here.
All right, Coach Morales made that move yesterday. You talked about it in the open, Bud. When she brought in to pinch hit yesterday, and it was Grace Connolly, who barely played this year. And what did Grace Connolly do? She did a pinch hit 3-run homer.
Yeah, just a 3-run jack. No big deal, right? Yeah, Connolly just 39 at bats on the season. That was her 39th time to the plate.
And broke the game open with a 3-run homer. And Connolly also 5-3. I mean, he's so excited, but just making the moves at the right moment and coming away with that upset win over Virginia Tech.
Well, and I need to do my math better. She's had 6 walks. Connolly had 6 walks on the year, so it was her 45th approach to the plate.
But still, good job by her. Good job by Reese Hunter, who has singled to start off the 4th inning. Now Jen Soleo comes up for Georgia Tech. And we have some activity in the Florida State bullpen. I see Allison Royalty over there.
The shortstop, number 7,
Emma Wilson.
Soleo.
And again, no surprise, right? A piecemeal pitching plan for Coach Alameda.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck this season for Florida State, especially not seeing McKenna Reed, who is expected to be the ace in the circle this year, coming off an undefeated season last year. Has 12 wins on the season, 1 loss. But we've not seen her in the circle for a while.
Brianna Condon is over at first, pinch running for Reese Hunter. We saw her last night as well.
Well, knowing that there's a lot of short game at the plate, they're going to adjust their defense and really squeeze Soleo at the plate.
Gets the butt down and is called out. Flaherty was kind of bobbling the ball, wasn't she, over there at first?
Yeah, this one is going to change. They don't even have to take it to review because of the positioning of the first base umpire, David Irwin, behind. He couldn't see that bobble as clearly. Got some help from some of his other umpires to say, hey, look, this is a situation that you need to look at because this throw, very solid down, but it is bobbled and not controlled by Flaherty. And the call changed on the field. Everybody safe.
So because the ball was not secured by Flaherty, everybody's safe. Soleo at first and Condon now over at second. Both teams combined 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
They do give the error to Flaherty on the receive at second.
All right, so
or by the second baseman at first base.
Okay, so no take away the infield single. It's an E4. Dinovich trying to get the bunt down.
But with 2 strikes, it takes the short game off the table. I don't anticipate seeing her going for the bunt, which will relieve the infield of needing to crash hard on the pitch.
Big strikeout, first out of the 4th inning.
The center fielder, number 1, Ella Edgman.
Now Edgman, the center fielder, up for the second time today. She was the first batter that Danley faced when she came in to relieve Gooden in the 2nd inning, and she singled. Wind whipping up a little bit. We are getting, unfortunately, some reports that there's some not so nice weather in the area.
A little bit of rain starting to fall. Well, how does the wind affect this? Well, a ball that gets up above the grandstand will be pushed in or across. The wind is not blowing out, so the direction of the wind going from left to right.
Wind really whipping up just in the last few minutes. You saw that shot of the dark clouds that are moving over from the left field side. Lights are not on here, even though it's getting darker with the cloud cover. Edenfield blocks it.
A very active catcher back there behind the dish, blocks it up and ready to go to third if there was any kind of attempt to take third base.
So now the 2-2 with 2 on. Chopped over to the shortstop, Torres, who throws out Edgman for the 2nd out, but the other runners advance.
That's a pretty heady.
8 miles. But Lonnie Alameda went out to have a conversation, and we play on. And here's Sarah Beth Allen up for the 2nd time with runners in scoring position. Flew out to end the 2nd to strand a couple.
And it's such a luxury to have Edenfield back there behind the plate to be able to rein in those balls down in the dirt. She is not afraid to block up those pitches that get away from her young freshman staff, and also take control as a big leader for this team.
Georgia Tech 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position today. And this is one of the batters you want up, and Allen.
Allen leads in home runs for second year in a row, had 13 home runs last year, 16 home runs this season. Had 3 home runs versus Auburn in 1 game this season.
And she's going to get a chance at a 3-1. Up and in, loads the bases with 2 outs for Mallory Black, who's 2 for 2 today.
She is, but Sarah Beth Allen, 3rd most walks in the country because of how dominant her bat has been this year. Mallory Black, though, pretty on fire. She comes up with the bases juiced.
Nowhere to put her. Leads the team in home runs, runs driven in. Big moment here in the 4th inning in the semifinal game. Florida State has only 1 hit in this game. And a chance to at least get a crooked number up for the Jackets.
And some coaches might think, why do you put 2 big home run hitters back to back in a lineup? Well, it's because you got to protect them. And so with Sarah Beth Allen sitting in front of Black, you know one of them's going to get pitched to.
Sails high. Another 3-1 count. Just had one with Allen and then walked her. Bases loaded and 2 away. Black takes it all the way and forces in a run with the walk.
What a mature approach at the plate. That's what you love to see out of a senior, to be able to step in and not let the emotion of the moment get too big and swing out of the zone, knowing that the ball's going to come out of the hand of Danley, typically at the knees or below. Huge, huge walk for Black.
Second baseman, number 20, Tiffany Dominique.
Second run of the game. Georgia Tech has scored their runs now on a wild pitch and a bases loaded walk. Here's Dominique. Struck out against Danley earlier in the game.
Georgia Tech fans not a big proponent of the strike zone at the moment.
I don't think they're going to be buying Scott Maroney beverages after the game. Hit. Torres able to recover and step on the bag to retire the side.
Scoring position for a big hitter up next.
And that is Michaela Edenfield. Walked earlier in this game. Sophia Voiles getting the start in the circle again for Georgia Tech. Went 4 innings yesterday in the win over Virginia Tech to get here.
That's the worst feeling when you get a pitch that you know you don't want to swing at, but your momentum carries the barrel through the zone. So frustrating, and puts 2 strikes on Edenfield. So now she's in a protect position of the plate.
Misses low. Sends it up and just over the wall to tie the game. Just out of reach of Edgman. And Michaela Edenfield does it again.
I thought Edgman might have had a chance at that ball. It did not get out of here very far. We saw a huge catch by Clemson in the last game where Mackenzie Clark robbed one, but that one, when you leave it to be successful.
So Norton with 9 wins on the season starts things off against Devin Flaherty, the second baseman for Florida State. Flaherty grounded out against Voiles in her only at bat so far before this one.
And the thing that makes it hard with Norton in the circle is she does throw that a really good drop ball. Seems to have pretty perfect 12-6 spin, which allows it to drop quickly and off the table. But she throws it at different levels, which makes it hard.
Norton at 6'2". Tallest pitcher on the staff. Upstairs to Flaherty, who draws the walk.
I mean, to be able to be that disciplined on a new pitcher, typically you like to swing early in the count to try to take advantage of a pitcher that wants to step in and make a statement right away. But Flaherty able to just show a ton of composure at the plate. And that brings up another big bat for Florida State.
There's so many threats up and down this lineup. It's Janai Kerr. Flaherty with 14 stolen bases. Threat over there at first.
And Pam, the thing that you need out of a reliever is someone that's able to throw competitive strikes. With Norton in the circle, her strikeout to walk ratio, not great, 49 strikeouts. And with the walk in the last at bat, 44 walks on the season.
Flaherty takes off, no throw.
Well, and she can. That was a foul tip, and so I think what happened is Reese Hunter froze, thinking, well, but the bat touched the ball. When you receive it cleanly, though, the ball stays live, which allowed Flaherty to advance.
So Flaherty now down at second for Kerr. For Devin Flaherty now, 15 stolen bases on 17 attempts, second only to Amaya Ross, who has 28 steals. Got that sliding mitt. Kerr waited on it, sends it over to the right side to send Flaherty to third. And that sets up Amaya Ross now. That was just the first out of the inning.
The first baseman, number 12, Amaya Ross.
Defensively, the Georgia Tech defense is going to creep in on the right side. Press Ross, knowing that she likes to do a little tap and go. She is the fastest player on this team, and so getting down the line is what she prioritizes.
Little squeeze play, and it was fielded by the third baseman, Black, who anticipated that Flaherty would come home. She did not, and Ross, flashing that speed you just talked about, got all the way to second.
Yeah, and that is a safety squeeze, Pam, with the ball on the ground, everyone crashing. Her job at third base, Flaherty needs to realize if the ball comes home, then she stays put. But with the coverages in a bunt, the shortstop goes to third, the second baseman goes to first, and leaves second base wide open.
The runners on second and third with one away.
Center fielder at second, it'll roll all the way to the wall and allow everybody to just keep on scoring on the carousel.
Kennedy Harp, who hit a home run yesterday in the win over Notre Dame. Seminoles just 1 of 8 with runners in scoring position so far in this game. 2-run home run by Edenfield earlier in this inning, tied it up. Georgia Tech with a pitching change, and they've only retired 1 batter. And after Harp, it's the top of the order with Kaylee Mudge and company.
Players jumping out of the way of a ball is something that we don't see very often anymore. A lot of players able to stand in there and wear it. That is not a skill I was ever able to master.
Late swing almost got Mudge.
She's jumping out of the way too. With good reason, that one would have hurt.
Two to Harp. Another one that skips in. Hunter kept it in front. And now a full count. Mudge waits on deck. Another walk. As you mentioned, that's been a problem with Norton all season. And the bases are loaded for Mudge.
Mudge seeing the ball well here today, and because of that, that puts Georgia Tech in a pretty tough spot. The defense will have to be in on the infield, coming home on the forced play. And Mudge is quick down the line, so being able to go home to 1 is going to be difficult.
Mudge has doubled and grounded out in this game. That was the 20th pitch for Norton, and she has thrown 11 balls. Gets that one into Mudge.
And while I don't like that strike, it's actually been a consistent strike here today. So you have to be able to communicate that stuff back to the dugout so that everybody knows that down low will get called.
Just missing.
And the way that Reese Hunter is receiving right now, it makes me nervous because she's not going to be very mobile as she sits down low on the knee, and with the leg kicked out, a ball in the dirt, while it might get by, has the potential to score 2 runs with the kind of speed that they've got on the bases right now.
3-1 on the way. Flaherty at third, Ross with great speed at second, Harp also fleet of foot at first. Big situation in this game. Beecham is on deck. Mudge sends it into left field. Flaherty scores. Ross scores. On the 2-run single by Mudge.
And while everybody was running on that one, it was actually the runner at first base who's getting kind of in trouble because she didn't continue running with the throw going through. Her job was to advance to third base, and Travis Wilson, who sits in that third base coach's box, got on her. I need to see a slide at home, though, next time. That was a little too close for comfort at the plate.
Because it seemed like she should have scored easily, and it was, as you mentioned, it was very close. So Harp now at second. There's an open base for Beecham, who's popped out and walked. First time she has faced Norton.
Beautiful pitch. Love that response to be able to come back at the bottom of the zone with that change of speed. You know that that is going to be difficult for Beecham to catch up to, knowing that she's set down for velocity in that toe touch.
In the dirt. Another 3-1 pitch. The most dangerous batter in this lineup. Stings it right by Black. Hart comes in to score. Beecham drives in another run. That thing was hit hard.
Yeah, she hit that one on the screws right down the line. Your job as a third baseman is to cover the line, and the reason that's a fair ball is because as it went down the line, it actually glanced off the glove of the third baseman, Mallory Black. Had it not, I think it had the potential of being a foul ball, but you heard it hit the leather down the line.
Chance to bust this open, up by 3. And the good news is the sun is out. We're back at full strength, getting our camera operators back in position. Matt Wilson can get all of his pretty pictures and
Dogs.
And Todd Koulis, a happier camper, is our producer. We've had a terrific crew all week here.
But it requires camera operators to give you the full effect.
Two-one on the way to Harding. Up and in. A lot of 3-1 counts here in this inning, Jenny. That's not good, right? If you're a Georgia Tech fan.
No, you like to see more competitive pitches thrown to these hitters. Their eye is not being fooled as these balls are just way out of the zone.
The appeal, and they say it's not a strike. It's a walk. Here we go.
Ooh,
That's a swing.
that would be a swing, Pam.
The shortstop, number
All
3,
right, so
Isa
Harding
Torres.
walks, and now Isa Torres, who started this 4th inning scoring party with a double, comes back up to hit for the 2nd time in this inning. So, bad break there for Georgia Tech.
Pinch running at first base for Florida State, number 14, Autumn Belvi.
Autumn Belvi comes in to run for Harding. Torres sends it towards the wall, and it goes over. Isa Torres, the super freshman, clears the bases.
Isa says, hey, did you know there's another impact freshman on this team for Florida State? I try to play a pretty good shortstop, but let me get your attention with the big hit to center. Doesn't have to clear that second fence, just needs to go over the initial wall. Huge home
The
run.
catcher, number 51,
Big blast.
Michaela Edenfield.
And this is the kind of offense that Florida State has been needing. This shot in the arm to be able to head themselves into the postseason. There's the home run ball.
Being rescued out there. That hit is not just a big hit, it's a grand hit. The grand slam sends in 4. It is a 9-run 4th inning. Torres in this inning, a double and a grand slam. Edenfield hit a 2-run home run earlier in this inning. And Florida State now with that 7-run advantage, if they can get another one across the plate.
Oh,
Oh, nice job.
found it. Can't get it underneath the fence,
Oop,
though.
oop, oop.
Souvenir. Big swing. Love that kind of hack in an 0-2 count. Edenfield does not swing for contact. She swings for power. She swings for damage. Oh, there you go.
Nicely
Hide it. They're
done.
going to come find it.
Nicely done.
Hide it.
Anybody who goes to that much effort,
They should keep it, right?
keep the ball.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, keep the ball. Upstairs on Edenfield. So again, if Florida State is able to score another run, that would get us into the 8-run rule situation, meaning Tech would have to score in the 5th inning in order to keep it going. Now, this is a Florida State team that, again, yesterday beat Notre Dame just 2-0. A couple of solo home runs, Hart and Harding. Before that, they lost 3 of their last 4 coming in, including 2 of 3 up at Syracuse. A ridiculous game, 15-13 extra inning game to Florida that they lost. Edenfield is retired. The strikeout and the throwdown by Hunter. But this, as you mentioned, this has got to be good, a confidence booster, a team that has had trouble.
Number 9,
You know, they're having their pitching staff roll over so much, having to become really creative with the way that Coach Alameda uses her pitchers, and I think a 9-run inning certainly would help.
Well, and it's been quiet for them lately. The amount of runs they've been putting up. It was a big game against Florida, that 15-13, almost like football score midweek before heading into the end of their conference schedule against Syracuse, but then dropping those 2 games to Syracuse has stymied their offensive production coming into the tournament.
And they had only 1 hit in this game heading into this inning. They put up 9 runs on 5 hits. The big blow, a grand slam from Torres.
Not too shabby when you look at the way that the bats have been rolling up until this point. taking advantage of some of these pitchers who have been struggling to throw competitive strikes. Flaherty able to get a hit in her second time to the plate this inning.
Had a walk. First time she came up in the fourth.
The right fielder,
And
number
for a
4,
pitcher who is
Janai
struggling to
Kerr.
throw competitive strikes, what starts to happen is they start to fill the middle of the plate. And when that happens, you better make sure that that bat is off your shoulder, because that is a mistake, and you have to capitalize when you get that pitch right down Main Street.
Now Janai Kerr takes a hack at the first pitch. It's caught by Saleo, but the damage, big time damage, had.
Knowing that big innings are fun, but they don't always happen, and you've got to be able to put consistent pressure on a defense and on a pitcher to be able to go deep into the postseason.
So Georgia Tech, last time they were hitting, it was 2-0 Georgia Tech. Now they're down 9-2. Here's Madison Dobbins facing Ashton Danley, who came in to relieve fellow freshman Mimi Gooden, who started back in the second inning.
And there were early indications that Florida State would have a hard time in the circle this year when they faced UCLA and Georgia early on, allowing 34 runs to score in those 2 games alone. But Danley has been able to step into the circle and take over a ton of innings for the Seminoles. Coming into this game, she had 120 innings under her belt. She threw yesterday as well. The ERAs, though, the surprising piece for Florida State, who is known to be pretty good in the circle.
Yeah, traditionally, they have been among the nation's best. Last 11 years, Florida State pitching staff has been in the top 20 in the nation. And this year, Beecham, can she recover? Yes, she did!
Are you kidding me?
Jasony Beecham able to get the carom and then throw out Dobbins. And there's her proud parents.
Love that, taking the name of her stepfather, Demetrius, wearing it like a catcher back there, blocking it up. And a great throw across. Man, bang, bang play made possible by a third baseman not afraid to wear it.
Ross with the nice stretch. Great reaction by Beecham, who is the ACC Freshman of the Year. And if I had a vote, and I don't, she would be my National Freshman of the Year.
She's been awesome. She's so fun to watch because it's not just one-sided. She is an all-around player, playing amazing third base and swinging a bat like a pro.
And there she is, Jasony with her dad. She was Jasony Fowler, but there's Mr. Beecham, Demetrius on the right, who married Jasony's mom. And she gives him so much credit. Says, this is my dad, period. Not my stepdad, this is my dad. And he's been with her every step of the way, helped her in her softball journey. Very, very close family.
Yeah, she has so much high praise for her dad and the way that he stepped in to father her.
Goes down the line for Gailey, chased down by Mudge, but Gailey with a easy stand-up, one-out double here in the fifth. That's her mom, Kidda, by the way, too. Want to give her some love.
She's like, hey, I did some work, too.
A lot of work.
But the way that the shift was put on for that at-bat, Jasony way off the line, and because of that, wide open all the way to the fence. Mudge just has to give chase to that one. Nice stand-up double for Gailey.
Her 8th double of the year. Gets her in scoring position for Reese Hunter. Hunter singled and scored the second run of the game for Tech. on the ground and foul.
And your job over there at third base is to simply be able to cover the line. And while it's fun to be able to get those foul ball line drives beyond in foul territory, you've got to just make sure that you cover to the line and make sure that those ground balls do not get past you close to the bag.
True freshman, left side of the infield for Florida State. Torres at short, Beecham at third. And there's the strikeout.
And that low pitch has been a difficult one for everybody on both sides. It is not being called one-sided. That pitch down, it's got some velocity off of it. That flip change coming out of the back of the hand of Danley. Yeah, our producer Todd Koulis loves that. It's always different, never the same. Finds different things to be inspired by. We did not hear what this look is inspired by today.
It's a theme usually.
Yeah.
But Edenfield, now that her team has the comfortable lead, getting some rest over there. She strikes me as a player who doesn't like to not be in.
I mean, she doesn't like attention or anything, right? No, but when you're competitive, you want to have the bat. That's why she worked so hard to come back after breaking her finger in that Louisville series.
Here's Soleo. Off speed, got in there. A little high. Soleo's numbers, by far her best offensive season, now in her senior year. Flaherty recovers and throws her out. So the double. We've been waiting for the bats to come alive, so it must be feeling pretty good. You guys are getting some good swings in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, postseason, you see a lot of games like this staying really, really tight or kind of letting loose. So I think you get the pressure a little bit. We've got a lot of freshmen in a lot of these roles right now, too, which is super cool. So, you know, just having some fun playing.
Well, and your freshmen are showing up big. Holy cow. And it's been a rough morning in Tallahassee. We want to make sure and give you a nod knowing that you put out a pretty good tweet earlier.
Yeah, Mother Nature, huh? Yeah. I mean, we're resilient down there with hurricanes, and I mean, it's crazy across the country. I know one of our players, Josie Meffley, had her house in hometown in Michigan hit, and then she got her house here in Tallahassee hit. So our right fielder right now, Autumn Belvi, wasn't in her bed, and there's a tree in her bed right now. So, you know, like sometimes you're just like, wow, you know, the stars align. So I know everyone in our family here is safe, and we're just, you know, sending a lot of love at Tallahassee right now.
All right, Coach, we echo that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, so the tornado going through Tallahassee, and earlier in the game we showed video of Josie Meffley, and we didn't know that. She's a Michigan kid, so her home in Michigan got hit, and now we're home in Florida. And let's take a look. This is what Josie Meffley shot of her place down in Tallahassee.
And posted on her Instagram, so we were able to bring that to you. But scary moment for Autumn Belvi.
Oh my.
We didn't know that about her either, so luckily she was on the road and able to stay safe, but the house, not so much.
Yes, the baseball stadium was damaged. We hear the softball stadium is okay. And there's Autumn, and we certainly hope that everybody is safe and sound and at least able to enjoy some softball after that storm went through today.
Well, and it was a secondary conversation, Pam, that we had after talking about how making sure everyone was safe and that they were able to check on their family and make sure their families were safe, but that also may impact their ability to host the postseason.
Right. Amaya Ross now up for the Noles, and here's some of the footage from campus on various accounts. That's the baseball stadium. Quite a bit of damage to that. The plaza outside of it. Florida State canceled classes today. Public schools in the area doing the same. So I certainly hope everybody is as okay as they can be after that disaster. Florida State lost 2 out of 3 games to Duke when they played them in the regular season, as we look ahead to a possible matchup in the championship tomorrow. Of course, Georgia Tech still has some outs to go.
Well, and you think about the seeding in the tournament for Georgia Tech coming into this one. I think they had the easiest path to the tournament this year, knowing they didn't have to play Duke, Clemson, or Florida State in the regular season, and then facing Virginia Tech, got swept by them.
But then beat them yesterday quite handily. Ross leads off the 5th with the walk.
Man, they're professionals.
Nice swing on the ball. That was a pinch hit for Waycaser, who came in to hit for Hart.
Allie Waycaser has seen a ton of at-bats. She is so good off the bench. Comes in with a big hit there to be able to push the game-winning run over there to third base. Great hit. Doesn't try to elevate. And sometimes you see hitters coming off the bench trying to do too much. Almost slipped out from underneath her, but Amaya Ross able to get to third.
And yes, the run rule is in effect now that we're in the 5th inning. And if Florida State is able to get a run across, this game will be over. A 9-run 4th inning. All right, and the challenge as to whether the runner left early did not. So we do have runners on the corners. And here comes the Mudge, Kaylee Mudge.
When we've seen so many coaches go to review when big things happen. So Eileen Morales stays true to that trend, but then needs to have a meeting with her team out there in the circle, knowing that if that run scores from third, this game is over, and their chances of making the postseason very high.
So nobody out, runners on the corners, top of the order for Mudge. 2-run single in that 9-run 4th inning. Florida State, the number 2 seed, Duke, the number 1, and Duke back-to-back 10-inning wins to get to the championship game. Beecham is on deck.
Defensively, right side, everybody pulled in, but the right side considerably more, knowing that they need to keep that runner.
That's a foul ball. And the runner at third is Amaya Ross, who's, I would bet, is the fastest person maybe in the entire city of Durham right now.
I think that's a pretty good guess, knowing that she's got so many stolen bases on the year. She leads the team as the biggest thief, 28 stolen bases on the season.
1-2 to Mudge. Takes it inside.
Pam, you don't want to walk Mudge. That just loads the bases.
For
Jason Beecham, you've got to be kidding me. This freshman comes up in these situations so often.
throw home, and she is safe. The game is over. Hunter in front of the plate called for the obstruction, and Florida State will go to the championship game yet again.
With the positioning of the catcher's foot, it prevented the advancement by the runner coming down the line.
on.
Yeah, our producer Todd Koulis loves that. It's always different, never the same. Finds different things to be inspired by. We did not hear what this look is inspired by today.
It's a theme usually.
Yeah.
But Edenfield, now that her team has the comfortable lead, getting some rest over there. She strikes me as a player who doesn't like to not be in.
I mean, she doesn't like attention or anything, right? No, but when you're when you're competitive, you want to have the bat. That's why she worked so hard to come back after breaking her finger in that Louisville series.
Here's Soleo. Off speed, got in there. A little high. Soleo's numbers, by far her best offensive season, now in her senior year. Flaherty recovers and throws her out. So the double by